is now changing. The freedom of the internet has begun to break the stranglehold of an establishment dominated by peer review. And as more of these devices have come to light, one or two mainstream scientists have begun to tackle the issues. One possible explanation for these startling results does lie within the current laws of science. It's a concept known as zero-point energy.
Physicists know that we're immersed in something called zero-point energy. It has the name zero point. We give it that name because even if we were to cool this entire room down to absolute zero in terms of its temperature, that energy would still remain. It might be surprising to think that at absolute zero everything would freeze out and there would be any energy left, but in fact that's the case.
Andrei Sakharov, the Soviet physicist, argued that we should regard all matter as floating in a universal sea of energy. And modern physics tells us that the space between the stars and the space between the particles which make up matter are filled with vast amounts of fluctuating energy, fluctuations which are fundamental to our view of the fabric of nature. So if we think of an atom with its nucleus and its orbiting electrons, modern physics tells us that there is a basic fuzziness about the energy levels of the electrons, rather like an out-of-focus photograph. We cannot tell both the position and the speed at the same time. Moreover, the random fluctuations in energy levels can be intense enough to spring pairs of particles spontaneously from the vacuum, only to disappear again, energy into matter and back into energy again, as Einstein taught us. This is one of the most extraordinary manifestations of zero-point energy. But just how much of this energy is there? Can it ever be tapped?
It turns out this energy is quite intense. Nobel laureate Feynman, one of Einstein's proteges, Wheeler, loved to comment on how intense this energy is. The way Wheeler puts it is there's enough energy in the volume of a coffee cup, in fact more than enough, to evaporate all the world's oceans. The potential of this is vast. You could go all the way from having a replacement never-say-die battery for your electric toothbrush all the way up to powering aircraft carriers and spaceships.
If there is such a thing as zero-point energy, and if you can tap it, it's like living